Hello there, this is Victor Santana with StockHunters.com for Thursday, October 13th. Here we're looking at the daily chart going back 3 months on the S&P 500. We are looking at the chart of SPY ETF fund, which tracks the S&P 500. And here we are, right up here. We opened low and then ended up closing a little higher for the day. However, we're still below yesterday's closing, so we were down 0.2%. And looking at it here, you could see what may have happened. We have this trend line that been following up here. Uh, Yesterday we broke above it and closed right underneath it, and today we opened lower, and again we try to retest this trend line here. So this is creating resistance here. So we'll have to watch this very carefully, this move. Well, now we got two small body movements. Looking at the RSI, it's telling us that it's now curving downward with the moving average of the RSI now intersecting or touching actually this area. So this area is going to be a very pivotal moment. And if you look straight down here, we're on the MACD that we follow closely. More importantly, the histogram bars, the little green bars, it is flat. Don't see anything. So we are again at a pivotal moment. See which way we're going to do. If we do break down, okay, we can expect to maybe come down in this area for some little bit of support, or if news is really bad, we could maybe have a trading day down here and then gap down below these two moving averages, the 50 and the 18, to expect to have maybe a touch around this trend line that was coming from here, this channel. So we'll play it day by day and see how the market reacts. Now, if the market does break up to the upside, that is, we can expect to come up here and hit our heads on the 100-day moving average here, and maybe trade sideways. So we'll have to wait and see. Let's go ahead and look at the Nasdaq. Nasdaq is doing the best of them all. Here we got all this nice move up. Again, it's hit its head right around this trend line here, and actually there's two trend lines now. We have this longer one here, this channel that was forming from a long time ago, and then you have this overhead resistance right up here where they intersect here. So this is why we're kind of stalling up here, and the good thing is the body of this candle is larger than the previous day, as you could see right there. So that's a good sign. Doesn't guarantee anything. We may even go up a little up higher over here or break above it, especially if we got that news from Google's. But seems like we're getting also some bad news from overseas in Europe. So let's see which takes precedence. If it falls down, again, our target could be down in this area or around in this area here, depending on further news. Uh, by looking at the RSI, you could see the momentum still heading up here, price action. The trend line here has not touched like the S&P, so it still can go up higher. Looking at the MACD here and lining up this candle going straight down, we're still on the slight positive area on the green. So the momentum is still slowing down. So keep an eye on this, but this may be the one that's going to be leading the markets on the next leg up. Let's go ahead and look at the Dow. Here we're looking at the Dow, and you can see we had this upper trend line yesterday, pulled back. It's another small body candle, meaning that indecision area. So it's not exactly a spinning top formation. uh, similar to this one over here. So things could be dying down here, getting tired. We're looking at the RSI, and you can see the RSI moving average has touched the RSI line, which is now downward sloping. So we have to be careful. MACD line here, the histogram bars. If we match this line straight up, if you look, well here it is flat zero. So we're also the pivotal moment on this as well. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But let's go ahead and take a look at the global markets and see overall. You're looking at the globals. We haven't reached this upper trend line here, and it did also trade below yesterday's trading range. So one more day, if we close lower, we'll confirm the down move, and we could either bounce around in this area here or break down to this area here. Now we're looking at the RSI. RSI, the moving average, the red line, is now touching the RSI line, which is now downward sloping. Looking at the MACD, the bar is missing now. It is flat line. So, uh, kind of more of a bearish tone, so we'll have to watch and see. We haven't got the confirmation as far as setting up to put a short, but it may be coming. So keep an eye on it. Let's go ahead and take a real quick at our trades here and make it quick. We're going to go ahead and look at the gold short DZZ, and we're still in this here with a small little spinning top down here. Trying to decide if it's going to break down or break up to the upside. So we're still holding on to this. Looking at the RSI, it did touch down here at the 30, and then now we're looking at the red moving average of the RSI, now overlapping the RSI line. So we may be seeing a move coming up pretty soon. All higher probability. So we'll have to watch and see this. It may be something like this here, where it's a fake out or another fake out. So this is going to be tricky, but the lower we are and where the touching is, the higher probability. Looking at the MACD, if you look at the red bars here, it is now flat zero. So again, this is going to be very important tomorrow. Looking at the energy short 3 times, we went ahead and put a position here, went down. Now we're still slightly a little under. We now have the red line touching the RSI line, and we still do have a little bit of a red bar here, but we are very close to something going to happen. Looking at the banks, shorting the banks 3 times leveraged, FAZ. We are still in the trade here. We put one position right here at this level, and then we added a second one here, so we have 2 positions in here, and we're now trading a little bit up higher. We're still in the red, but we're feeling confident. You could see it did dip down. We got the setup. We're getting the crossover, and on this line here, the bar is now absent. So we could see a move to the upside potentially. So let's take a look at the next one. This one we are actually shorting the stock, Las Vegas Sand. Here we got in right here on this day, and now we are in the money on here just ever so slightly. We're looking at the RSI. Now here we got to think the reverse. Since we're shorting, it was overbought, and now they're crossing the line, so it's pointing more downward, and the histogram bar, the green bar, is now erased. So we could see more downward action if the market shows more negative bias. Looking at the Nasdaq here, we're shorting this QQQs, which is QID 2 times short. We entered a position right here 2 days ago, and still a little in the red. We are oversold, looking for this crossover, and we still got the little red bar here. So this one's been, uh, since Nasdaq's been the strongest, this one's kind of been a little harder to get that trigger signal here, but we're still hoping that it will work out. S&P 500, we're shorting it. SDS on this one is the 2 times short. It is now crossing over at the RSI, and but we do still have a slight negative red bar here. So we'll keep an eye on this, and we are still underwater on this because we entered in here and almost got triggered out. It didn't close below this line here, so we're still in this. And SPXU, which is also shorting the SP 500, but this is leveraged 3 times, pretty much the same story. We entered right here at this line, almost got triggered out. RSI is almost crossing over here underneath for the setup, and we still have a little red bar, so we're waiting on this to reverse. And the last one here is TZA shorting the Russell's 2000. This one here, we got 3 positions in here, one here, one here, and then we entered another one here yesterday. We are underwater on 2 of the positions and above on 1 of them. And here they're getting ready to cross. And then this one here, the red bar is disappeared. So that's pretty much it. That's where we stand. And tomorrow we'll see which way the market would go. Until next time, keep your eyes on the markets. Put your stops in so your emotions will stay out. Thanks.